Greetings, Term 6 students. It's very nice to meet you. As you may have noticed from my earlier video, I am your instructor for this term, and my name is Jackie Pierce. You can call me Miss Pierce. I have been teaching at Post for, gosh, several years now, as well as other places. I've been teaching college level English since before some of you, I'm sure, were born. So I promise you're in good hands. One of the things I want to encourage you to do every single Monday is to check in with the announcements. And I will be posting a video very much like this one, which I call my weekly walkthrough videos. And we're going to do exactly what that sounds like. We're going to talk about everything that you need to do during that particular week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at that. I've got the course pulled up. And so what you are seeing now is the student preview mode for the course. So this is what it should look like when you first sign in Blackboard. You will always come in on the announcements page. And so that'll make it harder to miss these videos. But a lot of times people, I think, just kind of forget about the announcements. So it's very important to make sure that you read all the announcements and that you interact with any videos. So we're starting, of course, Unit 1. And along the left-hand side, you will notice there's navigation information. Just a real quick overview of what you will find. Of course, there's a link to the announcements. It's also the homepage. You have a link to the course information, which will outline everything that you need to know about the course. The Meet Your Instructor, of course, gives you my contact information as well as my office hours and things of that nature. After that, you have a discussion board post called Ask the Instructor. And I want to encourage you to use that, particularly if you have questions about one of the assignments or the course in general. Now, if you have questions about your own personal grade, please do not post that on that discussion board. Instead, email me. It is perfectly fine to email private questions and post public questions. In fact, that's kind of the best way to utilize that. So keep in mind that the Ask the Instructor does go to everybody. It is a discussion forum, just like many of the assignments that we're going to do. It's not graded, but it will go to everybody. You can also subscribe to that or to any of the discussions, and that will allow you to get a notice whenever something new is posted. Okay. You also have at the top here some links to the workshops. In weeks 2 through 7, every Wednesday night, you're going to be able to attend a live session by clicking on that link. It's in Microsoft Teams, and you will have an opportunity to ask questions, to interact with one of the instructors for post and learn. So I do hope that you take advantage of those. It will be very helpful in digging into the assignments a little bit more. Then we have, of course, the 8 units for the 8 weeks, the discussions link, which will take you directly to all of the discussion boards. You don't really need to click on that necessarily unless you just know, oh my gosh, I need to do my discussion post, because the links are also in each of the units. And then we're also going to be doing journal assignments. So same thing, if you need to go straight to the journal, you can do that. Below that, you're going to see super important information, my grades. This is where whenever you get a score back from me, you will also want to click on the assignment and not just look at the score, but look at the feedback that I've given you. And we'll talk about that more in an upcoming week in one of these walkthroughs, but essentially that's where you go to find your grades. In fact, let me show you what it looks like. You will see under last activity, of course, right now, this all just says upcoming, but it's got the scores over on the far right-hand side and the assignments on the far left-hand side. So this is where you will go to find your grades and your feedback on your grades, okay? Below that, you have access to college success resources, university policies, the library, the Tutor Me system, Grammarly and Academic Writer, you do have access to Grammarly for free as a post-university student and the APA 7th edition information. We are going to be using APA formatting and documentation in English 110. And that's going to give you some additional resources in addition to what we learn in the course. There are also some tools and Blackboard help. Okay, so let's go to Unit 1 because that's where we are. And you really want to use these links, the units, and follow everything in the exact order that it is, because each unit starts with an overview, and then it starts with your reading and video assignments. So one of the catchphrases that I like to use is that you have to learn before you earn. So you need to do all of the readings and resources, interact with those before you start writing assignments and doing things for grades, because your assignments are based on what you have learned in the readings and resources. So as you see, this week you have several things to read and some video. You've got a writing chapter from the writing guide with handbook. This is our big chapter. It's a full textbook that you can access completely online for free. And you're going to be reading 2 chapters, The Digital World and Memoir or Personal Narrative. So take a look at both of those. As you can see, these are links. So all you have to do is click and it will take you directly where you need to go. We have an interactive activity called the writing process. You definitely want to take some time to spend with that. And then a brief article on the basics of pre-writing. Planning for writing is just as important as doing the writing, something we'll be learning more about. Supplemental resources, we do have a video about good communication, the APA title and reference page template, which is also available over on that left-hand column in the APA 7th edition information. You are going to be expected to turn in work using Microsoft Word or saving it in a PDF file. You don't have to use Word, but you do have free access to Microsoft Office 365 as a post-university student. And this template is set up so that you can use it in Word 365 and open it. So you'll save it on your computer and then you'll open it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a few moments. You also have interactive on how to submit your assignments in Blackboard, which I'm going to show you as well, and a PDF version of that. If you need just the written instructions, you can look at that as well. So a couple of videos to watch. They keep the videos very short, so it shouldn't take you tons and tons of time. But a good rule of thumb is to try to get the readings and resources done no later than Tuesday each week. And that will give you Wednesday to post to your discussion board, and then the rest of the week to finish the assignment as well as responding to others on the discussion boards. So you've got several assignments this week that are going to be graded. One is called the Unit 1 Knowledge Check, and that is exactly what it sounds like. A knowledge check is a very sweet way of saying quiz. So take your time with those. You can take it more than once, so your highest score is going to be kept. So don't stress about it, but take your time with it. Try to do the best you can on the first attempt through after you've done all the readings. You do need to do the readings in order to know how to do well on the knowledge checks. Unit 1's discussion board is about introducing yourself and engaging in some descriptive writing. So essentially, you're going to have 2 paragraphs in your first discussion board. You're going to introduce yourself to the class after reviewing the assignments listed on the course information page, write a brief explanation of how you feel about the various writing assignments. And then in the second paragraph, you're going to give us a description of your favorite vacation spot, favorite place to relax, or even a favorite place in the town or city where you live. So it can be any place, okay, essentially. And description, you're going to share your sensory description of the place. So what does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like, etc. It may even have taste, especially depending on which place you choose. And then after you've posted your own response, you need to respond to at least 2 other people each week. Okay. So Your initial post should always be completed by Wednesday night, and then you have until Sunday night, the following Sunday night, to respond to at least 2 fellow classmates. Your own responses are going to be longer than your responses to others. However, make sure that when you're responding to others, you are writing a full paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences at least, not just a I like this or this is great or whatever. So that can be challenging, but you can do it. And I will give you some help along the way. Then you have a formal writing assignment. So anytime it says Unit 1 assignment or Unit 2 assignment, it means we are going to be creating a document in Microsoft Word, and we're going to turn in an uploaded assignment. So this link will take you to the full description and instructions for this particular assignment. For your first written assignment, you will be writing a descriptive narrative paragraph based on a prized possession you have. So you'll get some more practice at description. But this one can also involve some storytelling. So the one on the discussion board is pure description. This one is both descriptive and narrative, which means storytelling. So there's an example here, a sample paragraph for you to think about, and then the requirements. It will be 7 to 9 sentences in length, at least, and it should be submitted as a Word document in proper APA format. So in order to do that, you're going to want to use that template, or you can create it another way, but you want to have that set up. So we'll look at that in just a second. Finally, you'll notice at the bottom of each of these, there is the rubric. So when you get your scores back, you're going to have scores in each of these categories along with my discussion and my feedback. So this is something that you should look at before you write it and before you turn it in, because it will help you to target areas that you may have not met the full requirements yet. So please do look over the rubric and send any questions. Those types of questions are great for the Ask the Instructor board. Okay. All right. So let's go back and let's turn in our assignment. So we're going to click on the link, and we're going to have a couple of choices. Now, I wish they could change this, but they can't. Create submission will open a Word text box. This is not real. It's not a full version. So you want to use upload files, and we're going to have the actual file that we attach. So let me show you what that's going to look like. I have it open, but I think it's behind here. Oops. Got too many windows. Sorry, guys. Bear with me a moment. There it is. Okay. So what you're looking at now is Microsoft Word, and this is the template. You'll notice up in the header, you'll see it's in light gray. That's because it's in the header. So it's not just on page 1. It appears on all the pages. It's got the page numbers already up there for you. You will want to give your work a title. So we're going to call this prized possession paragraph. You're going to want to type over this area with your first and last name. Let's use Jane Doe as our student today. The department name is the English department. So we're going to put in English department, Post University. We're going to put in ENG110, and the course name, which if you ever forget is always at the top of the page. It's the official title of the class is college writing. I always have to double check because I teach several different classes. So I always want to make sure I get the right one. So college writing, your instructor's name, which is me. And as I mentioned, my name is Jackie Pierce. And then the due date for the assignment, which will be Sunday night. So Sunday night of this week is going to be May the 5th. So May 5, 2024. Okay. On page 2, you have another version of the title. So we're going to do the same thing we just did. We're going to call this prized possession paragraph. And this is where you start typing. Now, I do want to point out that this document has a reference page on it, which we do not need for this first assignment. We do want to get rid of all the extra space at the bottom. We want to just have one page probably. If your paragraph goes over 2 pages, that's fine. I mean, that's absolutely fine. 7 to 9 sentences, though, probably one single double space paragraph, which is what this will be, is going to be enough. So I'm just going to type out some gobbledygook. And I'm going to actually give this to you in the announcements as well, so that if you want to get it from there as opposed to the unit, that's fine. Now we will indent the first line of that paragraph. I don't know why it undid it. And that is my paragraph. Okay, so I am now going to save this. Oops, except I can't spell today. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to save it in my documents. It's already saved as a Word document, and there we go. Okay, so let me close this and show you how to then upload that assignment. So let's go back to Unit 1, and we're going to go down to the descriptive narrative paragraph. We're going to click on Upload Files, browse the local files, and it's right at the beginning because of the way my computer is set up. And then you will need to click the box to agree to send this to the global reference database. An important note about the global reference database is that essentially, if anyone else has turned in the same paragraph, we're going to know, including you. So if this is not your first attempt at English 110, if you've maybe done some of these assignments before, you need to do a completely new assignment. Even though technically you may have written the first time, if you turn it in again, it's going to get flagged as being quote unquote plagiarism. So you do need to redo your assignments if you're on a second attempt at English 110. That's always a big surprise to some people. So I always like to say that here at the beginning. So once you've done that, all you have to do then is click the submit button, and it will show in this little kind of preview. Don't be alarmed if the formatting looks weird in this preview window. Sometimes it displays in a different way. This one didn't. It looks just fine, but sometimes people get concerned that it doesn't have the right spacing or whatever. It's fine. It's just that sometimes the preview window doesn't hold onto all your formatting. Okay, so that is your first week of work in English 110. Reach out if you have any questions. Like I said, you can always email me. You can also always ask questions on the Ask the Instructor. But if it's something that's just specific and personal to you, make sure you email me. I answer emails very, very quickly. So I look forward to working with you this term. I hope everybody has a great term 6, and let me know if you need anything. Take care, everybody.